Right now at 5, it's time to get into the holiday spirit as we highlight how one of our Toy Box partners makes spirits bright for kids in need.
And we're pretty calm to start our day, but we got big changes on the way. We're going to break them all down coming up.
We take you to a Granby, Missouri, where they celebrate Christmas with different sorts of Christmas activities.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So, we got some changes coming. We were talking about them all of last week, coming into this week, and here we are. We're ready for this cold front to come through. Are you ready for this cold front to come through? Because it's going to get cold. It's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do and make it cold. But before that, it's going to bring us some thunderstorm chances. So over the next 24 hours, things will start to ramp up as we head into the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll start to see some of those shower and thunderstorm chances increase across the area. And we're looking at anywhere from, say, about a quarter, half inch, maybe even upwards of about an inch of rain out of this system. In Joplin right now, we got some cloudy skies. It's 47, feels like 43 across the area. We're all starting out about the same point with that southeasterly breeze. 46 Chanute, 45 Pittsburgh, 47 Neosho, and 50 in Miami. MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line, looking good so far. We've got a yellow light for the morning drive. We may see a stray shower or two. I encountered some drizzle on the way in. We're not talking anything major, but just be cautious out there. And then for the drive home, although we're cloudy, we do have a green light as we're not expecting any rain just yet. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Again, a stray shower or two is possible, 46 at 7 a.m. And by the time they get home, not a lot of change in temperatures. Mostly cloudy, 46. Winds could be gusting upwards of 20. Heading through today, we're looking at a high of about 54 degrees with those cloudy skies. And as we head into tonight, start to see those thunderstorm chances increase. And you can also note we drop it down to 50 as a technical low, and then we'll start to warm back up as we head towards sunrise as these showers and thunderstorms make their way through the area. There's the possibility that one or two of these storms may be a bit on the strong side, but at this point we're not expecting any widespread severe weather, but of course we'll keep an eye on this for you. And these storms are expected to last through about the first half of tomorrow, and then about noon, 1 o'clock, they will clear out of here and temperatures are going to change. We'll take a look at those changes on the 7-day forecast.
First the storms, then the temperatures.
Big shift coming.
Here it comes. All right, thanks, Chris. The Missouri Southern football program will face consequences for NCAA violations. The NCAA released its findings on Friday. The report details multiple infractions during the 2019 and 2020 football seasons when the football program was under the direction of former head coach Jeff Sims. The university says no one currently involved in the program is implicated in the infractions. But the NCAA has handed down multiple penalties against the Missouri Southern football program. 'Twas less than 2 weeks till Christmas, and all throughout the 4 states, Santa's helpers look to brighten the holiday season for those in need. And we take you live to Joplin, where our very own Amber Jenkins has more on how one of our community partners is making the holiday season.
Good morning, Tanya. Christmas for Kids is partnering with KOAM for the annual Toy Box Drive. Christmas for Kids help less fortunate families in Newton and McDonald County have a great Christmas. All year long, the Santa helpers keep an eye out for sales and discounts for toys to give the children during the holiday season.
You know, because they feel really bad because they can't get their kids something for Christmas, okay? But to us, if that kid realizes, hey, mom and dad cared enough to get us this gift, even though mom and dad couldn't afford it, you know, that's our main goal, is not to make the parents feel any worse off than they feel.
Tomorrow is the last day for the annual Toy Box Drive at KOAM, but you can still donate by going to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com.
Amber. Just curious though, how many gifts do they provide to families in need each year?
Yeah, it's actually like thousands of gifts. So they usually have about 400 to almost 600 families, and each child that gets a gift, they're not just getting like one little toy. They're getting probably about 2 or 3 toys, a blanket, a jacket, and other little items. So they're pushing a lot of items to these families.
All right, that's wonderful. Everyone needs help this time of year. Thank you so much, Amber. Well, don't forget, Tuesday is the last Toy Box Tuesday telethon of the year on KOAM, and that is tomorrow. Join us for our noon, 5, and 6 p.m. newscasts to hear stories about how the Toy Box program helps local families in need. Also, be ready with a credit or debit card to call in and make your donation. Remember, all of your donations stay in the county you live in. Again, the telethon starts at noon on Tuesday on KOAM and then resumes for our 5 and 6 o'clock newscasts. The little town of Granby, Missouri is celebrating its Christmas Day with a different sort of activity. From a variety of handmade crafts, gifts and boutiques, taking family photos, kids writing letters to Santa, coloring him a picture, and decorating sugar cookies. One organizer said the event is meant to help the community.
So we provide clothing for students in need. We provide food for students that are food insecure within our school district. And this event just raises money so that we can continue that program.
The annual Christmas parade lines up along Main Street.
All right, 7-day forecast, the changes that are coming. We'll see some storms later tonight. Storms for the first half of your day tomorrow. We drop back down to 36 from a high of 58, and then we struggle to get out of the 40s, and we drop into the 30s. And yes, we are looking at some slight flurry chances Thursday and Saturday of this upcoming week. And check out those overnight lows. Tomorrow night, the last night above freezing for the next several days for overnight lows. So it's going to get downright cold. It's going to feel a lot more like December in the next, 36 hours or so.
Be prepared, everyone. Be prepared. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the NCAA releases a report detailing multiple infractions committed by the Missouri Southern football program under previous coaching staff.
Plus, a group of carolers bring the holiday spirit to those who are homebound.
And how statins help lower the risk of suffering from the deadliest kind of stroke. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the Chiefs are 9-3 this season and 3-0 against division opponents. Kansas City on the road facing AFC West rival Denver. This is the first meeting of the first of two meetings this season. Chiefs up 6-0 in the second. Patrick Mahomes flips it to Jerick McKinnon, takes off 56 yards and in for the touchdown. Let's rewind to this throw though. No look pass under pressure. Later, Chiefs defense with the big play. Willie Gay picks off the pass. He returns it for 47 yards for the pick six. Chiefs lead 27-0. But Denver makes a comeback, capitalizing on a few Kansas City turnovers. Third quarter, Russell Wilson finds Marlon Mack, gets a few blocks, pushes off the last guy in his way, 66 yards, and stumbles into the end zone. And that makes it a 6-point game. The Chief offense regroups. Mahomes is going to find Juju Smith-Schuster to extend the lead. Then, under 5 minutes, Denver with a chance down by 6 once again, but the pass is intercepted by L'Jarius Sneed. Kansas City hangs on to win 34-28.
Luckily, we got the win, but you don't win a lot of games when you have 3 interceptions. It's just being a little too loose with the football, and I got to correct that because we're going to continue to play good teams, and we're trying to make a run in the playoffs, and I have to correct that and take all the good that I'm doing, and then take away that negative stuff because that's what loses you games in the playoffs.
Pitt State women are off to a hot start this season. The Gorillas are 7-2 with just 2 games left before the Christmas break. Pitt State in action against Central Oklahoma. The Gorillas drop a season-high 100 points and pick up their 3rd straight win. 6 players score in the double figures. Tristan Gegg leads the way with 18 points, including 5 threes. Pitt State men fall to 6th-ranked Oklahoma, 77-60. Sean English scores a team-high 17 points with 9 boards. Calvin Polina, also a big contributor, 14 points and 8 rebounds. At the Division I level, Kansas State hits the floor against Incarnate Word. The Wildcats roll by the Cardinals 98-50. Keontae Johnson scores 18 points, and Kansas State improves to a 9-1 record. The Joplin Eagles won the Carthage Invitational on Saturday for the 2nd straight year. The Eagles topped the tournament host Tigers 60-54. Joplin's All Right is named the tournament MVP, averaged 28 points per game over the course of the tournament. Well, the NCAA has released a report detailing multiple infractions from the Missouri Southern football program under the previous coaching staff in 2019 and 2020. Those violations include impermissible recruiting benefits and academic misconduct. In those 2 seasons, the Lions football program was under the direction of former head coach Jeff Sims. A report says the former Southern head coach, quote, failed to promote an atmosphere of compliance with NCAA rules and was directly involved in the violations, end quote. Among the multiple infractions, the report says the former head coach arranged for a booster to pay off a student athlete's tuition at his previous school so that player's transcripts would be released and he could transfer to Missouri Southern. The penalties against Missouri Southern stemming from the investigation include 3 years probation running through November of 2025, a $5,000 fine, a reduction in football scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year, and also the school must vacate all football records in which ineligible student athletes competed. Missouri Southern says no current employees were implicated in the investigation. The school declined to comment on camera, but did release statements from both President Dean Van Galen and Athletic Director Rob Mallory. In the statement, Mallory says, quote, while these circumstances are unfortunate, particularly because the violations occurred prior to Coach Bradley's arrival, we are pleased to have the matter resolved so that we can continue the focus on the positive progress of our football program, end quote. You can check out the full report from the NCAA and the full statement in this story on the KOAM sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. Still to come, a marine fossil found in Australia is being called a Rosetta Stone. And we're tracking thunderstorm chances in your forecast. We'll take a look when the KOAM Morning News returns. Well, Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear right now, but that is going to change as we head into the overnight hours and into the first half of our Tuesday, which we can see on the precipitation tracker. Over the next 24 hours, we'll stay pretty dry, and then we'll start to watch rain chances steadily increase as we head into the overnight hours and again into tomorrow in the first half of our Tuesday. Out of this system, we're expecting upwards of a ½ inch to maybe even an inch of rain in some locations, which of course is rain that is much needed across the area. However, for our Monday, we're starting off cloudy, and that's really going to be about the way it is. 47 in Joplin, feeling like 44 with a southeast breeze at 6. We've got 46 Chinook, 49 Chitopa, 50 Miami, 47 Neosho. We got 46 in Carthage as we start the day. Modoc Cameron, I-44 and Rangeline, looking good so far. We do have a yellow light because even I ran into some of this. There's been some drizzle, and there might be a couple of light showers this morning. Otherwise, cloudy skies, and a green light for the drive home as we'll stay cloudy and roughly in the 40s. Kids getting on the bus, again, a stray shower or two possible. Otherwise, just cloudy, 46. Breeze out of the southeast, 5 to 10. Later could gust upwards of 20. Cloudy by 3 o'clock and 46. We're looking for a high of right around 54 degrees today under these cloudy skies. And as we head into tonight, the rain chances will begin to increase, and we'll start to see some thunderstorms in the early overnight hours. And also, our temperatures will also begin to increase as we go through the overnight hours as well. So by 7 o'clock, there's that cold front. There's that the line of showers and storms out to our west. It starts to make its way in here tomorrow morning, and as you can see, by 10 a.m., it holds on. We still have showers and thunderstorms across the area, but by about noon, 1 o'clock, it kicks out of here, and this is Friday morning, by the way. It's going to get downright chilly after this system exits. We forgot to fill that out. I apologize, but we'll have more weather trivia for you tomorrow. All right, 7-day forecast. Let's take a look. 58 tomorrow. We'll get those thunderstorms going through the day. A couple of those could be on the strong side, but right now the overall severe threat is looking pretty low at this point. But of course, we'll keep an eye on it for you. Drop back down to 36, only 43 Wednesday. 30 by Wednesday night, slight chance of flurries on Thursday, another chance of flurries by next Saturday. And as you can see, we get into the 30s and we don't exit out of the 30s. In fact, by the middle of next week, we're looking at the chances of more flurries and possibly some snow by next Wednesday. And take a look at those overnight lows. They're going to drop below freezing, and they are going to stay there for the next several nights. Well, a group of carolers are keeping the sled and reindeer in the barn this year and are instead opting to spread holiday cheer by way of golf carts. Lauren Clark has more on the seniors who are bringing the spirit of the holidays to community members that are stuck at home.
was 17 days before Christmas.
This is Santa Claus and I'm the elf.
And all through the Pebble Creek retirement community.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Festive residents dressed up in Santa hats, lights, even as Cousin Eddie.
Tidings to you, to you and your king.
Driving in decked out golf carts, they brought their cheer.
Every heart.
Singing loud for the entire community to hear.
We divided up into groups to go sing to our homebound people.
Through streets, sidewalks, and roads. The joy and jolliness was there by the loads.
They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer game.
And if you were there that Thursday, what could you say?
So wonderful that we can do something to help those who are unable to participate the way we do. And so it's a give and take gift, and we're just so grateful that we can do that.
But that the spirit of the holidays is just one act of kindness away.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Like they said in Elf, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. And our question for you this morning is, do you believe that Santa is real? You can vote yes or no by going through our website, through the app, and taking part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Back with Health Watch right after this.
Right now at 5:30, it's time to get into the holiday spirit as we highlight how one of our Toy Box partners makes spirits bright for kids in need.
We've got a calm and cloudy start.
And we take you to Granby, Missouri, where they celebrate Christmas with different sorts of Christmas activities.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:29. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So there's a little bit of drizzle out there this morning, and there may be a light shower too, but we have bigger changes that are on the way across the area. Now, the Skywatch Storm Tracker, for the most part, is clear this morning, but again, a stray shower or two possible. Otherwise, we'll stay dry through today, and we'll watch our rain chances really ramp up as we head into the overnight hours. And with this system, we could see anywhere from a quarter to half an inch, maybe even upwards of an inch of rain. So much needed rainfall across the area, and I know that the ground will certainly take it. 47 in Joplin right now, cloudy, a breeze out of the east-southeast at 5, making it feel like 45. We're at 46 in Chanute, 50 in Chetopa, 50 Miami, 47 Neosho, 42 Monette, and 45 as we start the day in Lamar. MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline looks good so far. A yellow light for your morning drive for that drizzle, maybe a little bit of fog out there, a light shower possible, otherwise just cloudy, and a green light for the drive home as we'll be cloudy heading into the afternoon. Kids getting on the bus, again, a stray shower possible, otherwise cloudy and 46. Winds later today could gust upwards of about 20, 46 and mostly cloudy by 3 o'clock. We're looking for a high of about 54 degrees today with those cloudy skies. Cold front starts to approach from the west, not from the rest, but from the west. And we'll see our temperatures start to rise overnight. We'll also see our shower and thunderstorm chances increase overnight. And for the first half of our Tuesday, it's looking to be a bit on the stormy side. There is the possibility of a strong storm or two from this system, but right now we're not looking at any significant or widespread severe weather tomorrow that's looking to stay to our south. But if that changes, we'll let you know, of course. We'll keep an eye on it. And then after this cold front gets through here, it is going to get downright cold, and we will discuss how cold in the 7-day forecast here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, get ready, brace for it.
Yeah.
It's December, it's supposed to be cold, right?
It is indeed. It is December, it's supposed to be cold, and by golly, Mother Nature's going to remind us of that in the next about 36 hours or so.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the survivor of a shooting at an Oklahoma marijuana farm that had killed 4 people has been arrested after being released from a hospital where he was treated for gunshot wounds. 44-year-old Yifei Lin was arrested last week after the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics filed notice to seize the farm west of Hennessy, a town about 55 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Lin remained jailed, according to jail records, although court documents do not show that formal charges have yet been filed. Lin's attorney, Clay Curtis, says he has not been provided the likely charges, though illegally manufacturing and trafficking marijuana are possible, and that arraignment is scheduled for Wednesday. 'Twas less than 2 weeks till Christmas, and all throughout the 4 states, Santa's helpers look to brighten the holiday season for those in need. We take you live to Joplin, where Amber Jenkins has more on how one of our community partners is making the holiday season brighter.
Good morning, Tanya. Christmas for Kids is partnering with KOAM for the annual Toy Box Drive. Christmas for Kids helps less fortunate families in Newton and McDonald County have a great Christmas. All year long, the Santa helpers keep an eye out for sales and discounts for toys to give the children during the holiday season.
You know, I mean, because they feel really bad because they can't get their kids something for Christmas, okay? But to us, if that kid realizes, hey, mom and dad cared enough to get us this gift, even though mom and dad couldn't afford it, you know, that's our main goal, is not to make the parents feel any worse off than they feel.
Tomorrow is the last day for the KOAM Toy Box, but you can still donate by going to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
All right, thanks, Amber. Now, how many years have they been helping the community, Extreme Sports?
They've been helping for over 10 years. So Extreme Sports is basically the home base for Christmas for Kids, and Christmas for Kids is the program that works out of the diving store behind me. And they've been doing this literally since the early 2000s.
All right, yeah. Well, that's good, and hope they continue to do so. They're helping out a lot of kids that way. Thank you so much, Amber. The little town of Granby, Missouri is celebrating its Christmas Day with all kinds of activities. KOAM's Shagun Bamadeli has more.
From a variety of handmade crafts, gift and boutiques, taking family photos, kids writing letters to Santa, coloring him a picture and decorating a sugar cookie, Granby Christmas celebration started today with the East Newton Vendor Market.
And this is the East Newton United Vendor Market. It is to support our community. So we are a nonprofit that raises money to support our children in our community and within our school. So we bring local vendors. Many of our vendors are past and present students that have turned businesses or created businesses, and they're here selling their product as well as other local businesses.
The event brings more people to the community of Granby.
It's bringing more shoppers into our community. So we have a lot of small local businesses, and our event brings in outside community members. So it brings people from other areas in. They shop from our vendors here, but then they also go around and shop our local stores as well.
One local vendor says she loves supporting the community with her products.
It's just nice to show support to your community, that you're there for them, and just to see a friendly face, and just to promote things for special things like this. So
we provide clothing for students in need. We provide food for students that are food insecure within our school district. And this event just raises money so that we can continue that program.
Reporting in Granby, Shagun Bamadeli, KOAM News.
The event allowed Granby to show off their places to eat and shop. The annual Christmas parade took place along Main Street. Well, this morning we're discussing the holiday season and, of course, the big man in red.
Of course. It was 17 days before Christmas, and all through the Pebble Creek retirement community, festive residents dressed up in Santa hats, lights, and even his cousin Eddie.
Hey, why not?
Driving in decked out golf carts, they brought their cheers, singing loud for the entire community to hear.
Through streets, sidewalks, and roads, the joy and jolliness was there by the loads. And if you were there that day, what could you say but that the spirit of the holidays is always just one act of kindness away.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Do you think that Santa is real?
Remember, kids are watching.
So far, though, 60% of you say that you do believe in the big red guy. 40% of you say you do not. I guess the guy in red, the big red guy, would be Satan, and that's not what our question's about. It's about Santa, not Satan. The guy in red, 60% of you believe in him. 40% of you say you do not. Make sure you vote through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion about Santa on our Facebook page.
Yes, and we all know that in order to keep the magic alive, You have to believe.
You absolutely do. And something else that might help you believe is the fact that after this cold front rolls through, it's going to get cold. We're going to drop back through the 30s, watching some flurry chances Thursday and Saturday, and maybe even some snow by the middle of next week. And look at those overnight lows dropping down into the 20s and teens over the next several nights.
My thought is, if it's going to get cold in December, we might as well get snow.
I'm right there with you. If it's going to be
Skip the
cold,
ice,
cloudy, and
skip
dreary,
the sleet, just
might
give
as
us
well snow.
Fluffy snow. That's all I
Here's
want.
hoping. We'll keep an eye on that next system for you next week as well.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, a soon-to-be mom who is visually impaired receives a 3D ultrasound.
Plus, a popular square that was once flooded with tourists is now flooded with water. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, at least 20 people were injured during clashes in southern Peru, 4 of them police officers. The motive for Saturday's protest is not clear, but it took place in one of several towns where people have taken to the streets demanding the release of ousted and now jailed former President Pedro Castillo. Meanwhile, Peru's new president, Dina Boluarte, named her new cabinet just days after Castillo was sacked by Congress and later arrested for rebellion and conspiracy. Castillo has been accused of attempting to dissolve the legislature to prevent an impeachment vote. Venice's St. Mark's Square usually floods with tourists, and it's now flooded by seasonal high tide. Tourists and residents are gearing up and wading through the waters across the square. A glass barrier was installed in 2019 to protect the square's historic basilica, and walkways have been put up in case people do not want to get their feet wet. Venice is used to flooding, but climate change has intensified the rising sea levels. The city also has flood barriers in place in the event of an aqua alta, or high water. Saturday's water levels were not high enough to activate the system. A marine fossil just discovered in Australia is being compared to the Rosetta Stone, which helped decode ancient languages. The 100-million-year-old skeleton found on a cattle station in the Queensland outback is being hailed as a breakthrough that may provide vital clues about prehistoric life. Some amateur paleontologists called the rock chicks. They're called the rock chicks, that's their name. They made the discovery. The 3 women go around Australia hunting for fossils. And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a pretty calm start to the day so far, but then we'll see rain chances increase as we head into the overnight hours. And from the system coming in with this cold front heading into tomorrow, we could see anywhere from a quarter to half, 3/4, maybe even a full inch of rain out there. Some rain we definitely need. Right now in Joplin, we are cloudy, sitting at 47, east-southeast breeze at 5, making it feel like 45. And temperatures across the region off to a cool start for us. 46 Neodesha, 50 Chitopa, Miami, 47 Neosho, 46 Carthage, and 42 in Nevada. I-44 camera from MoDOT. Looking good. Yellow light for the morning drive. There's some drizzle out there, a little patchy fog. There may be a light shower or two this morning, so just be aware of that. And then for your drive home, we do switch to a green light as we are going to be cloudy and in the 40s for the most part. Kids getting on the bus, again, a stray shower or two possible, otherwise cloudy and 46. And it'll be cloudy and 46 by 3 o'clock, but the breeze could start gusting at about 20 miles an hour. Heading for a high today of 54 degrees. We'll be cloudy throughout the majority of the day, and as the cold front approaches from the west, rain and thunderstorm chances will increase, as do our temperatures, kicking off at 50 by 11 and then up to 54 by sunrise. A couple of these strong storms may be on the strong side, but the good news is at this point we're not looking at any widespread severe weather, but of course we'll keep an eye on that for you. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow will last through the majority of the morning, and then they'll start to clear out by about noon, 11 o'clock from west to east as the cold front rolls through. And as it does, we go from 58 down to 36, in the 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries on Thursday, and then we get down into the 30s, and we stay that way for the next several days, watching additional flurry chances Saturday and next Tuesday, possibly some snow by next Wednesday. And these overnight lows go from pretty pleasant to absolutely frigid, dropping into the 20s and teens as we head into next week. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News coming your way in about 2 minutes.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The survivor of a shooting at an Oklahoma marijuana farm that killed 4 people has been arrested after being released from a hospital where he was treated for gunshot wounds. 44-year-old Yaifi Lin was arrested last week after the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics filed notice to seize the farm west of Hennessy, town about 55 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Lin remained jailed, that's according to jail records, although court documents do not show that formal charges have yet been filed. Lin's attorney, Clay Curtis, says he has not been provided the likely charges, though illegally manufacturing and trafficking marijuana are possible, and that arraignment is scheduled for Wednesday. On Friday, emergency crews were preparing to work through the weekend in Washington County, Kansas, where a leak of nearly 14,000 barrels worth of oil spilled into a creek. This is the third spill of more than 1,000 barrels on the Keystone Pipeline since it opened in 2010, and the biggest in Keystone history. The pipeline is currently shut down in a containment area set up by the crews to stop the spill from flowing further downstream. The spill has not threatened the local water supply. Livestock owners in the area have been notified. And Miami, Oklahoma police officers have a new tool and training for de-escalating threats without lethal force. The department now has pepper ball launchers and pellets. 15 officers were trained on how to use the launchers. Officials say they will help save lives. And the Joplin Public Library celebrates the holidays with its annual Holiday Tea Time. The event included a performance by the Midwest Regional Ballet, holiday-themed cookies, and of course, tea. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, we're going to stay dry and cloudy for the majority of today, and precipitation chances will begin to pick up as we head into the overnight hours as a cold front makes its way in from the west. And with this system, we could see anywhere from, say, about a ½ inch upwards of an inch of rain. Some much needed precipitation across the area for sure. 7th and range line right now in Joplin, we are cloudy, 47, feeling like 45 degrees out there. We've got a cool start for many of us across the region as well. 46 Chinook, 47 in Parsons, 50 Miami, 46 Carthage, and 42 as we start the day in Nevada. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and range line. It looks good so far. We have a yellow light right now as we could see some drizzle, maybe a little bit of fog. A light shower or two is possible. We're otherwise cloudy. And then we have a green light for the drive home as we remain cloudy throughout the majority of our day today. Again, for kids getting on the bus, a stray shower is possible. I think most of us are going to be dry. We're looking at cloudy, 46. And when they come home, we're looking at cloudy and 46. Winds could be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. For today, we're heading for a high of 54 degrees as we remain cloudy throughout the day. Cold front starts to approach from the west. Our temperatures will slowly rise overnight, and our thunderstorm chances will rise overnight as well. A couple of these storms could be on the strong side. We're not looking at any widespread severe weather at this point, but of course, we'll keep an eye on all this for you. We go to tomorrow, 58. Cold front pushes through. We lose the storms about noon, 1 o'clock, drop back down to 36. In the 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries on Thursday, and then we're looking at maybe some flurries next Saturday. Temperatures fall through the 30s, and our overnight lows drop back down below freezing over the next several nights. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, many pregnant women have a chance to see their fetus with an ultrasound, but that wasn't an option for one Nebraska woman who is visually impaired.
Sean McKinnon reports 3D printing let her have a similar experience.
There's nothing in this world like a mother's touch.
But you can tell, the nose, the lips, how the brow is.
That's so cool.
And for expecting mother Ashton Johnson, touch is what she uses to see.
This is so cool. I have not been able to feel his or we'll see his ultrasounds at all. So this is so cool. I can actually feel his little lips and his little nose. That is so cute. And his little eyes. Oh my gosh.
Ashton is visually impaired. So when her OBGYN, Dr. Katie Sekpe, found out Ashton was pregnant, she knew what to do.
And so the thought came it would be really nice to give her something tangible to hold on to feel the contours of the baby's face and to really get an understanding of what baby looks like.
Dr. Sekpe teamed up with another OBGYN, Dr. John Cote, to bring Ashton's ultrasound from a screen to something she can feel.
We're actually one of the first kind of institutions to be able to do stuff like this.
Cote says giving an expecting mother a 3D print of their ultrasound raises oxytocin levels and increases attachment to her baby. He says it's groundbreaking work.
3D printing's been around for some time, but when we're applying it to more common scenarios like everyday pregnant patients, and that's where it becomes, I think, a game changer.
For Ashton and her husband Logan, this moment.
I never really thought like I'd get to like see what my baby looks like in a way. I guess feel what he looks like.
Giving her new access to her child.
I can't wait to see what he looks like in person.
Filling them with love.
Thank you so much, guys. This really means so much to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And gratitude.
I definitely would not have this opportunity without you guys, so thank you guys.
Whose nose does he have?
Mine.
New research letting Ashton feel the face of her baby boy that's soon on his way.
I hope other moms get to do this because it's so cool.
At CHI Health Bergen Mercy Clinic, Sean McKinnon.
That's so cool.
That is actually,
awesome.
that is really cool. I mean, and the thing is you save those ultrasound photos and things like that, but this is something very unique to be able to save and pass down to their child when, once he's born, that he'll be able to, look back and instead of just seeing these ultrasound photos, be like, this is what I really look like.
Kind of cool to be able to hold your baby before they're even born.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
I can see that becoming very popular.
I think even with those without visual impairments, I think that would be something that's a popular choice because it's just very unique. Well, we've got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News, including a look at some storms on the way when we come back. We're starting out pretty cloudy today across the area, and we're going to stay fairly cloudy for the day ahead of our cold front that's bringing some pretty big changes our way. 47 in Joplin, feeling like 44 right now. Across the region, we are a bit on the chilly side to start. Starting to warm up to the south, though. 50, Veneta, Chautauqua, Miami, Grove, and Jay. 47, Parsons. 45, Pittsburgh, Lamar. 47 in Neosho, and 49 in Anderson. I-44 and Rangeline, the MoDOT camera there, we're looking good so far as it looks off to the west. We got a yellow light for the morning drive simply because there's been some drizzle, might be a light shower, and there's been some patchy fog out there. So just be aware that you could run into a few driving hazards. Otherwise, for the drive home, we are a green light because we will be cloudy, but no rain is expected. Kids getting on the bus this morning, we're looking at 46 degrees. Again, maybe a stray shower too. Most of us dry and cloudy. 46 by the time they get home, cloudy, and winds could be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. For today, we're heading for a high of 54 degrees. We will remain cloudy throughout the majority of our day. Cold front starts to approach from the west, and that'll start to increase not only our temperatures overnight, but our shower and thunderstorm chances as well. And there's the possibility of a strong storm or two tonight into tomorrow morning. At this time, we're not expecting any widespread severe weather, but of course, if any of that changes, we will let you know. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. So 58 tomorrow. Once that cold front gets out of here, storm showers, all that stuff gone by about noon, 1 o'clock. Temperatures fall. We get down 36. It's 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries. Then we just get into the 30s and stay that way. Additional flurry chances by Saturday. And overnight lows go from decent to absolutely cold, falling back to the lower 20s as we head into the weekend. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, cleanup gets underway as the Keystone Pipeline spills nearly 14,000 barrels of oil into a creek in Kansas.
We've got a cloudy start to our day, and we've got big changes on the way. We're going to break down your full forecast coming up.
And KOAM gets ready to wrap up its annual Toy Box event for the year, but not before Amber Jenkins has a chance to speak to one of our partners, Christmas for Kids.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. I'm going to admit to everybody, for the first hour of the show, I felt like I just was not here.
Are you awake now?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I was awake, I just wasn't here. I mean, I think for some folks,
I think that was me on Friday.
Yeah, it was just one of those situations. But I feel like I'm here now. I feel like the show is just starting. But I'm glad that we're already an hour into it. And I'm sure some of you folks at home are glad we're already an hour in as well. We thank you for joining us every morning. Lots of fun here this morning and lots of changes on the way in the forecast. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear right now, but our rain chances will start to increase as we head into the overnight hours as a cold front approaches from the west. And we could see anywhere from a quarter to half an inch, maybe even upwards of an inch of rain out of this system as it moves on through. Right now, though, we are cloudy in Joplin, 47, feeling like 44 degrees out there. I'm going to tell you right now, between today, and into the first part of tomorrow, try and enjoy the temperatures as best you can, because they're about to go away. 46 Chanute, 48 Parsons, 50 Miami, 48 Neosho, 46 in Carthage. MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline looks good. We put up the yellow light just because we could see a stray shower, maybe some drizzle, patchy fog out there. Otherwise, we are cloudy. Green light for your drive home, though, as we just simply stay cloudy. It won't be until later that rain moves in. So kids getting on the bus, stray shower possible, 46 degrees. And as they get off the bus, looking at cloudy skies, 46, winds could gust upwards of 20. Heading for a high today of 54 degrees with those cloudy skies. Cold front rolls in tonight, and it brings us not only temperatures that will rise overnight, but also brings us shower and thunderstorm chances. And we've been talking about this. There's a chance of a strong storm or two overnight tonight. I think the majority of our severe threat's going to stay well to our south, but of course we'll keep an eye on that for you in case any of that changes. These thunderstorms will hang on for the first half of your Tuesday, and then things are really going to change after this, and we'll break down those changes and why it's going to feel a lot like December here in just a couple of minutes.
All right.
And how December-ish it's going to feel.
A lot to talk about, that's for sure. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, 14,000 barrels of oil spill out at a site in rural Kansas after another breach in the Keystone Pipeline is once again raising questions about its operations. Brian Linus has the story.
Crews are working in near freezing temperatures to clean up the biggest oil spill in the history of the Keystone Pipeline.
At this time, we're just focused on recovery efforts, safety of our personnel on site, and safety of the environment and community.
Canada-based operator TC Energy shut down the system last week after a breach in the pipeline caused more than 588,000 gallons of oil to leak in northern Kansas. That's nearly enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. The company had secured a federal government permit that allowed the pressure inside parts of the pipeline to exceed the typical maximum amount allowed.
It would not surprise me at all to learn that that higher pressure is what has caused these large releases.
In 2019, the pipeline leaked an estimated 383,000 gallons in North Dakota. Environmental concerns led President Biden to pull the plug last year on the proposed Keystone XL pipeline.
We have seen a pretty high number of failures on that pipeline. I think it's probably a good time for the federal regulator, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, to maybe look at that special permit and that higher pressure they're allowing this pipeline to operate.
Well, the EPA says the spill is contained so far. It has not threatened the water supply or prompted any evacuations. Miami, Oklahoma police officers have a new tool and training for de-escalating threats without lethal force. The department now has pepper ball launchers and pellets. 15 officers were trained on how to use the launchers. Officials say they will help save lives. KOAM's annual Toy Box event is in full swing, and Amber Jenkins is live with one of our partners this year, Christmas for Kids. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning, Tanya. Christmas for Kids is partnering with KOAM for our annual Kids help less fortunate families in Newton and McDonald County have a great Christmas. All year long, the Santa helpers keep an eye out for the sales and discounts for toys to give to children during the holiday season.
So if the parents come up and get it by themselves, the kids have no idea that the parents didn't get them anything, okay? And that is one of our main goals, is never to, we don't want to make the parents feel, really bad, that they couldn't afford the gifts for their kids.
Toy Box is the last day for it is tomorrow, sadly, but you can still donate by going to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
How many toys do you think they're going to be able to collect this year? For how many kids are they trying to collect for, Amber?
Right now, I believe they have about 500 families, and actually they have a trailer attached to a truck, and they open up the trailer for me, and you'll see a little bit in the package later on, but it's filled rim to rim with bikes, that, so they're pushing out at least thousands of toys to these families.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Going to a good cause, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Amber. Well, as we mentioned, tomorrow, Tuesday, is the last Toy Box Tuesday telethon of the year. You can join us for our noon, 5 and 6 p.m. newscast to hear stories about how the Toy Box program is helping local families in need. Also, be ready with a credit or debit card to call in and make your donation. Remember, all of your donations can stay in the county you live in. Again, the telethon starts at noon on Tuesday on KOAM and then resumes for our 5 and 6 o'clock news. On Sunday, the holiday sip and shop at the Frisco Event Center featured local vendors from around the area. The shop included clothing, sweets, candles, signs, and more. Coffee and hot chocolate was provided to keep shoppers warm.
I think it's a great way for people to support the local businesses around the holidays. It's a great way for people to shop small, and there's a bunch of great vendors here. So.
Some of the vendors in attendance included the Sugar Pit, Creative Cottage, Astor Boutique, and Sally's Sweet Treats.
All right, a look at that 7-day forecast for you. You can see we got the thunderstorms tomorrow, 58 for the high, down to 36 for the low. That cold front lives up to its name. We get cold after that. 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries on Thursday. Then we fall back through the 30s as we head into the end of the week and the weekend. Maybe some additional flurries on Saturday. And look at those overnight lows dropping back through the 20s. They'll eventually even get down into the teens as we head into next week.
All right, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, tributes across the soccer world pour in following the death of American journalist Grant Wahl. But so do the questions surrounding his sudden and unexpected death while covering the World Cup.
Plus, it may be cold and flu season for humans, but man's best friend can also contract the flu and other viruses this time of year. We've got some tips for how to keep your four-legged friend healthy. And of course, we're going to take another look at that forecast when we come back.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, amidst all the celebration of the World Cup, there's a dark cloud over the sport today. Grant Wahl was not just one of soccer's leading journalists. Some called him the sport's greatest evangelist in the U.S. Michael George explains.
We're going to try to celebrate the beautiful game with heavy hearts.
The soccer world is reeling after the sudden death of one of its most beloved figures, writer and CBS Sports contributor Grant Wahl. The 49-year-old collapsed in the press box Friday while covering the Argentina-Netherlands quarterfinal match at the World Cup.
The World Cup just feels like you're at the center of the universe.
According to people close to the situation, Wahl may have gone into cardiac arrest, though the cause of death is still unknown. On a podcast Thursday, Wahl said he was suffering from bronchitis. His wife and CBS News contributor Dr. Celine Gounder tweeted that she's in complete shock. And U.S. Soccer said its entire family is heartbroken. Friend and colleague Heath Pierce says his writing and his passion
we have pretty good teams now.
Helped bring soccer into the mainstream in the U.S.
A pioneer for the soccer space, helping the sport grow in North America.
Wahl was also unafraid to speak truth to power. He reported extensively on the U.S. women's team's quest for equal pay and called out the World Cup host Qatar for its treatment of migrants and the LGBTQ community.
He was asking a lot of difficult questions and pushing the needle forward that allowed a number of marginalized communities to feel seen, to feel heard, and feel like there's somebody out there fighting the fight for them.
The White House offered condolences to Wahl's family. They say the State Department is assisting the family and is in contact with the government of Qatar. And that's a look at one of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to be cloudy as we go through the majority of today, heading for a high of 54, and as mentioned, just plain old cloudy. As we head into tonight, though, that's when the cold front begins to approach from the west, and that's going to, first off, cause our temperatures to slowly rise overnight, but it also cause our shower and thunderstorm chances to increase overnight as well. And as we've been mentioning, one or two of these storms could be on the stronger side, but right now we're not looking at any widespread severe weather, but of course, should any of that change, we will certainly keep you updated on it. So here comes the cold front later later this evening out in the west, and then it'll make its way in here overnight and through tomorrow morning. And once it gets through, it should exit by about noon, 1 o'clock tomorrow, and then behind it, it's going to leave absolutely frigid conditions. So looking at a high of 58 tomorrow, down to 36 though for the low. In the 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries, down to the 30s heading into the end of the week, maybe some flurries on Saturday. Overnight lows begin to fall too, down to the 20s, eventually maybe even into the teens. The highs do not get out of the 30s as we head into next week, and by midweek next week, we're looking at maybe some flurries on Tuesday and the possibility of some snowfall by next Wednesday across the area. So a lot to monitor over the next several days, and really big changes coming for those temperatures. It's going to really start to feel like December out there after we get through this cold front tomorrow. Got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear for us as we start our Monday across the area, but it is going to change as we head into late tonight and through tomorrow. We have rain chances. Again, there's the possibility of a stray shower or two this morning. We'll go over that in just a second. But otherwise, our main event starts late tonight, and chances will begin to increase across the region as this cold front works in from the west. And it could bring anywhere from half an inch, quarter inch, maybe even upwards of an inch of rain across the area, and that's much needed rain. And if you look close enough, you can see the clouds in the sky at 7th and Range Line as we are cloudy in Joplin, 47. It's feeling like 44 degrees. Cool start for most of us. We have some 50s down south like Chetopa, Miami, Grove, Veneta, even now into Anderson. 48 in Neosho, 46 in Pittsburgh, 43 Lamar, and 42 up in Nevada. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line. Looks good so far. We're only putting the yellow light up because there's a stray chance of a light shower out there, possibly some drizzle, and even some patchy fog. So just a yellow light to just be aware that you could run into some of that. And then as we head into tonight, or your evening drive rather, we got a green light as we will remain just simply cloudy. Kids get on the bus again, stray shower or two possible. Most of us dry, cloudy, 46. And as we go into the afternoon, by 3 o'clock, 46, mostly cloudy skies. And the winds could be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. As we go through the rest of the day, heading for a high 54 degrees with cloudy skies across the region. And as we head into tonight, that's when the cold front gets in. Temperatures will slowly rise through the overnight hours. Additionally, we'll see some of those showers, maybe even some thunderstorms out there. A couple of those storms could be on the strong side, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather, so that's some good news there. But of course, if any of that changes, we'll definitely keep you up on that. 58 tomorrow, cold front comes through where storms are done by about noon, 1 o'clock, and then we'll be down to about 36 for a low. In the 40s Wednesday, Thursday with some flurries on Thursday. Lows drop back into the 20s. Highs don't get out of the 30s, and as we head into the middle of next week, lows back into the lower 20s, even the teens, and then we're watching some flurries next Tuesday and maybe even some snow chances by next Wednesday. Got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, teen athletes may be more likely to use e-cigarettes than other kids, and that's according to a new study in the journal Pediatrics. Researchers studied more than 30,000 high school students and found those who play team sports are less likely to smoke, but more likely to vape. A new study found that people who visit the emergency room with signs of intoxication or alcohol use disorder are 5 times more likely to die in the following 12 months. Researchers tracked 10 million visits to California ERs for injuries, and those also diagnosed with alcohol use disorder or intoxication had a 5% mortality rate in the next year. And children with some forms of aggressive childhood leukemia may benefit from extended chemotherapy. Doctors at the Princess Maxima Center for Pediatric Oncology found an extra year of chemotherapy can lower the risk of reoccurrence by 3-fold. The children also had a higher risk of infections, but they were treatable. Well, it's not just cold and flu season for us. Canine flu and other viruses that make dogs sick are also spreading. Bradley Blackburn has more on what pet owners need to know.
Jason Smith boarded his pets over Thanksgiving.
I was very surprised that all 3 dogs had flu symptoms within 24 hours of getting back from the kennel.
Like people, pets are also dealing with viruses right now that can make them sick. There's canine influenza and pneumovirus.
Most dogs will experience 10 to 14 days of runny nose and coughing, but there is a significant subset of those dogs that will progress to pneumonia. that can be very life-threatening.
Some animal shelters have had to suspend dog adoptions because of flu or pneumovirus cases, like Pinellas County Animal Services in Florida.
So it's once it starts spreading, it just goes.
Dr. Cinda Crawford is with the University of Florida's College of Veterinary Medicine. She says the message is the same for sick pets as it is for sick people.
Limit their activity so that they can get some rest, and find them at home, because whatever's causing their cold is likely contagious to other dogs.
While there is no vaccine for pneumovirus, there is a canine influenza vaccine. So if you're planning to board your dogs over Christmas, now is the time to get the vaccination.
The timing is so important because their antibody production is what needs to build up.
Jason is grateful his dogs are feeling better.
Monday and Tuesday got really bad, and I got real worried that Fiona might be getting pneumonia. But she perked up the next day.
Dog owners should always be on the lookout for warning signs. If your dog stops eating or has difficulty breathing, contact your veterinarian. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Well, getting your dog vaccinated for canine influenza may not prevent an infection altogether, but it may reduce the severity and duration of the illness. That's according to the American Veterinarian Medical Association. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a cloudy start for us this Monday. You can see some of those clouds out there at 7th and Rangeline. 47 right now in Joplin, feeling like 44 degrees. We've got a cool start for some of us across the region. 48 Neodesha, 48 Parsons, 50 Chetopa, Miami, 46 Neosho, Carthage, 44 in Lamar. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline. Looking to the west, it's looking good so far. Do have a yellow light for your morning drive because we could see a stray shower too, maybe some drizzle, patchy fog. So just some travel hazards to watch out for out there. And then we have a green light for the afternoon drive, as will simply be cloudy ahead of this cold front. That's going to bring us some big changes on the way. 46 by 7 a.m. Again, maybe a stray shower when the kids get on the bus, and by the time they get home, we're looking at cloudy skies, 46, and that southeast breeze could be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. 54 for the high today, cloudy skies throughout, and then as we head into tonight, that cold front starts to knock on our door, and as it does so, we see our temperatures rise through the evening. We see our shower and thunderstorm chances rise through the overnight as well. And again, as we've been mentioning, some of these storms, a couple of them could be on the stronger side. We're not anticipating any widespread severe weather at this point, but of course, we will keep an eye on that for you here in the Skywatch Weather Center. So once the front gets here, this is later tonight, you can see it off to the west, widespread rain out there, starts to roll in. It's going to hang on for the first half of our Tuesday, and then it clears out by about noon, 1 o'clock, and after that, it absolutely lives up to its name, and things get cold. 58 tomorrow, then we drop back down to 36 following that front. Only into the 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries on Thursday, and then maybe some flurries by Saturday, and temperatures continue to fall. We just hover in the 30s for the next several days and into next week. Overnight lows dropping back down into the 20s, maybe even the teens by next week. And then we're watching flurry chances by next Tuesday, and we're keeping an eye on some snow chances by next Wednesday. So a lot of December is on the way following tomorrow's storms. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6:30, cleanup gets underway as the Keystone Pipeline spills nearly 14,000 barrels worth of oil into a creek in Kansas.
And as folks begin their morning drive, we've got some cloudy conditions, a little bit milder today, but we're tracking some big changes on the way. Your full forecast coming up.
KOAM gets ready to wrap up its annual Toy Box event for the year, but not before Amber Jenkins has a chance to speak to one of our partners, Christmas for Kids.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning. KOAM Morning News. It is 6:29. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got some areas of maybe some stray drizzle, maybe a little fog out there, but it is going to, our forecast is going to turn upside down in about the next 36 hours or so. Right now on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we're clear for the time being, but that's going to change as we head into the overnight hours because our rain chances will begin to ramp up as we head into late tonight and into tomorrow morning. And from this cold front and this system coming through, we're expecting anywhere from, say, a quarter inch, half inch, maybe even upwards of an inch of rain. So some much needed rain across the area. Right now, though, we are simply cloudy in Joplin, 47 degrees, feeling like 44 right now. Clouds across the region. We are at 46 in Chanute, 41 Iola, 50 Chetopa, Miami, 46 Neosho, Carthage, and 44 in Lamar. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line, looking to the west. We're looking good so far. Got a yellow light for your morning drive for the aforementioned issues. Maybe some drizzle, maybe some fog, maybe a light shower or two out there. Otherwise, we're cloudy. Same when we get home. Green light, though, for that drive home, as will simply be cloudy later today. Kids getting on the bus about 7 a.m. Again, a stray shower possible. Most of us dry and cloudy, 46. And then we are cloudy by 3 o'clock and still about 46 degrees. And winds could be gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. We're heading for a high today of about 54 degrees under those mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. And then as we head into tonight, that cold front begins to approach. And as it does, our temperatures warm overnight. Our rain chances increase overnight. So we start to see some widespread showers and thunderstorms with this front. Now, we've been mentioning all morning there's the possibility of a stray strong storm or two, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather from this system. But of course, if any of that changes, we will let you know. We're going to take a look at what this front does to the next several days in terms of the temperatures and weather here in just a couple of minutes. Some big changes on the way.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Chris. Well, more bad news for the controversial Keystone Pipeline, but even worse news for rural Kansas. On Friday, emergency crews prepared to work through the weekend in Washington County, where a leak of nearly 14,000 barrels of oil spilled into a creek. This is the third spill of over 1,000 barrels on the Keystone Pipeline since it opened in 2010, and the biggest in Keystone history. The pipeline is currently shut down, and a containment area has been set up by crews to stop the spill from flowing further downstream. The spill has not threatened the local water supply. Livestock owners in the area have been notified. We'll have more on the latest. And KOAM's annual Toy Box event is in full swing, and Amber Jenkins is live with one of our partners this year, Christmas for Kids. Good morning.
Good morning, Tanya. Christmas for Kids is partnering with KOAM for our annual Toy Box Drive. The group, they've been putting joy and smile on the faces of children in Newton and McDonald County for over 10 years. Extreme Sports in Joplin may look like a diving shop, but it's much more. During the holidays, Extreme Sports become a home base for donating toys to bring a smile to a child on Christmas Day.
No child in Christmas should ever be without a toy. And so we've been doing this, like I said, in Newton County since about 2010.
Even before Thanksgiving, James is already thinking about the less fortunate.
Like me, I've been shopping since probably before Thanksgiving. So I've wiped out pretty much all the Dollar Generals and dollar stores and Walmarts. And on Black Friday, we went to Walmart, and don't ever do that.
Christmas for Kids' goal is to help families enjoy Christmas morning despite what's in their pockets.
Not every family out there unfortunately, isn't able to. So that's what we're here for. We're trying to fill in that gap.
Toys are not the only item they give the kids during the holidays.
Found out that he goes out and cuts firewood for his family. So some of our guys with us, they hooked him up with stuff.
Tomorrow is the last day for KOAM's Toy Box Drive, but you can still donate by going to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
All right, we saw that there was quite a few toys in the back of that truck. Earlier this morning, you shared with us roughly how many kids they're supporting this year. Has that number changed over the years?
Yes, in fact, they're seeing higher numbers this year, they suspect due to the economy, inflation, the usual, but they're seeing much new numbers. They said they had about 125 more families, and of course, they are still working on trying to ensure that all these families have good Christmas mornings, so they're even working up until Christmas Day on distributing the toys and making sure everybody has a good Christmas.
Is it too late to sign up with Extreme Sports, with Christmas for Kids, that is?
No, in fact, I'm sure they'll love for more people to know about this and more people who are wanting to donate, volunteer. It is not too late. You can come down here to Extreme Sports down here in Joplin, South Joplin, around a range line, and you can still donate. They'll take money, toy items, etc. And of course, anything that isn't going to go to anybody's Christmas this year, it'll be saved for next year.
That's a good point to mention too. And if you don't want to get out and do the shopping, we can do that for you. Remember, Toy Box Tuesday, our last telethon is tomorrow. You call and donate during our noon, 5 and 6, and we'll do the shopping for you. Thank you so much, Amber. All right, a groundbreaking ceremony celebrates construction of a new clinic in Pittsburgh for children with autism. It's a project by the nonprofit group Integrated Behavioral Technologies, or IBT, in conjunction with Sunshine Childcare. Now, they are not shy looking for the qualified people to help.
We have a program director, so that's all KDHE driven. So KDHE requires those program directors to have the degrees and those years of experience and so many hours. So no, it'll be two different entities when it comes to that. Program director will carry the lead on that side as far as the child care.
Right, the nearly 2,400 square foot facility is scheduled to open early next year. It could serve up to 30 families. IBT hopes surrounding communities and cities will reach out to obtain services. Well, this morning we are discussing the holiday season and, of course, Santa.
'Twas 17 days before Christmas, and all through the Pebble Creek retirement community, festive residents dressed up in Santa hats, lights, and even as Cousin Eddie. Driving in decked-out golf carts, they brought their cheer, singing loud for the entire community to hear.
Through streets, sidewalks, and roads, the joy and jolliness was there by the loads. And if you were there that day, what could you say but that the spirit of the holidays is always just one act of kindness away?
And that brings us to our question for you this morning. Do you believe that Santa Claus is real? An overwhelming 70% of you are wise enough to know that he is and have voted yes. 30% of you have voted that you do not. To make sure you vote through our website, through our app, and of course, take part in discussion on our Facebook page.
What can we do to help keep that Christmas magic alive?
We've just got to have Santa come onto the show, and we'll have him share his magic with some of you. Talk about that magic. Quick check of the 7-day forecast. Big changes on the way. 58 tomorrow. The storms clear out by about noon, 1 o'clock, down to 36. 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries by Saturday. And as you can see, temperatures continue to fall back through the 30s into the weekend and overnight lows into the 20s.
All right, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. The future of housing.
Instead of construction to build a home, what about printing it? I'm Danya Backus with a look at technology that is set to cut cost and building time.
Plus, we'll take another look at the news you need to know before you head out the door, and another check of that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Building a home can be consuming, but some construction companies are now using technology to build homes faster and with less environmental impact. Danya Backus takes a look at 3D printed homes.
With the hum of a robotic printer, a groundbreaking approach to home building is underway just outside of Austin, Texas.
It's very innovative. It's a new method.
Home builder Lennar is collaborating with construction technology company Icon to build a community of 100 3D printed homes. A robot prints the full wall system of the home using layers of concrete.
From the foundation to interior and external walls, you're looking at about 5 to 7 weeks.
Builders nationwide are starting to utilize 3D printing, which is typically faster and cheaper than traditional construction. And not just for full-size homes. In Southern California, the company Azure Printed Homes is producing shed-sized dwelling units that can go in the backyard.
A backyard office or a workout studio, game room, meditation room.
The 3D printed structures run anywhere from about 200 to 900 square feet and are made from recycled materials.
Environmentally, we're taking a waste product that's building up and repurposing it.
Ross McGuire is the company's CEO. He says printing to delivery and installation can take around 2 weeks.
Is there a cost saving for the buyer?
Speed-wise, around 70% faster, and cost-wise, around 25% less expensive.
By saving time, money, and materials, companies could change the way homes are built for years to come. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, the cost for a 3D printed home in the Texas community will run about $400,000. The Azure additional dwelling units start at $26,000. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got cloudy skies to start the day for us across the region, and it's going to be cloudy for the majority of the day. 47 right now in Joplin, feeling like 44 degrees. Temperatures across the region, a bit on the cool side. We got 48 Independence, 50 Chitopa, Miami, 46 Pittsburgh, 41 Iola, 42 Fort Scott, Nevada, and 46 in Carthage. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline looks good. We do have a yellow light because we could see a stray shower, perhaps some drizzle, patchy fog out there for your morning drive. And then we switch to a green light for the drive home as we are just simply cloudy. Kids getting on the bus, again, a stray shower possible. Most of us cloudy and dry, 46. Winds could be gusting upwards of 20 later today, 46 by 3 o'clock and straight up cloudy. Cloudy is going to be the theme through the majority of the day ahead of our next weather maker, this cold front out west. 54 for the high, again, cloudy. Tonight, the cold front starts to approach. We'll see temperatures rising overnight. We'll also see shower and thunderstorm chances increasing overnight as well. And again, a couple of these storms could be strong, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather. But as we've been mentioning, should any of that change, we'll let you know right away. 58 tomorrow. Once that cold front gets out of here, we're done with rain and showers by about noon, 1 o'clock, down to 36 for the low, 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries, and we fall back into the 30s heading into this upcoming weekend. And maybe some additional flurries by Saturday, and overnight lows start dipping back down into the lower 20s across the region. So we're going to go from fall to December in a rapid fashion. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Theodore Ricci. Pittsburgh, Kansas native, served in the Army as part of the 164th Depot Brigade and as a member of the Coast Guard. To Theodore Ricci, we thank you. Today's four-state hero.
All right, time for some Monday birthdays, and we begin in Hepler, Kansas with Case Monty celebrating birthday number 4. Happy birthday, Case.
And we've got Jordan Rattery turning 5 years old this year. What a cute smile there in Frontenac.
And Shelby Humble turning 9 in McCune. Shelby's birthday was on Sunday, so a very happy birthday to you, and that means you get to celebrate all week long. Just tell your parents.
Yeah, in Farlington, Milan Shupak celebrating birthday number 10 this year. She's growing up, already 10 years old.
And we've got Cruz Harrell over in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 11. A very happy birthday to you, Cruz.
All right, happy birthday, Cruz. And Chloe Schartz celebrating birthday number 13 this year. Hope it's a great one for you, Chloe, with love from mom, dad, brother, and the rest of the family.
And we've got Andrea Scagno turning 26. A very happy birthday to you, Andrea.
All right, we got a little belated birthday wish out there for Drew Cook. This is our morning show producer, Corenza's hubby. I guess his birthday was Friday, but somebody might have forgot to put it on.
That's what I've heard.
Happy birthday. I'm sure you had a wonderful birthday weekend, Drew.
And we've got JD Beasley over in Altoona celebrating birthday number 40. JD is the gentleman there wearing the Captain America shield shirt. Happy birthday, JD.
All right. And Randy Black's turning 52 years old this year. Happy birthday to Randy in Carthage with love from his family.
And we've got Michael Tubaugh celebrating birthday number 64 in Jasper. Michael, a very happy birthday to you.
Up in Bourbon County, Steve Cisney celebrating birthday number 70. There he is with a little throwback pic. Awesome.
And we've got Pam Allen Gordato celebrating birthday number 75 in Columbus. Pam, a very happy birthday to you.
And all the way out in La Russell, Kansas, Mark and Crystal Johnson are celebrating their 10th wedding anniversary this year. And Mary Price, happy birthday to you in Columbus.
And of course, we love to see this list grow, and so Tanya Bach has all the answers for how you can help us make this list grow, right?
All right, and remember, get your birthdays to us at least by 3 p.m. the day before the birthday, preferably more than 24 hours before would be nice. And you can send them to either emails at birthdayswithans@koamtv.com or birthdayswithans@koamnewsnow.com. Include all the details, and we love to see those pics. And you can share their age too. We'll have fun with that.
Absolutely, we will. And while you're on our website, make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. You get some great deals from local businesses. All you need to do is go to KOAMnewsnow.com and click on the Mornings tab, and you can get to that birthday club. And by the way, did I mention you also get a message from your friends here at KOAM on your birthday? So make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club by going to KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, so right now the Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear. That's going to change as we head into tonight as our cold front makes its way in and brings us rain chances, as you can see, steadily increase heading into the overnight hours. And from this cold front and this rain that we get, we could see anywhere from a quarter to half, maybe even upwards of about an inch of rain across the area, which we certainly need. 7th range line, cloudy, and that's going to be the theme for the rest of today. 47 degrees right now, making that breeze making it feel like 44 out there. Cool start for most of us today. We got 48 in Neodesha, 43 Yates Center, 41 Iola, 42 Fort Scott, Nevada, 46 in Carthage, Neosho, and we're up to 50 degrees in Miami. Live look at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and range line in Joplin, looking really good so far. We're putting the yellow light up simply because you could run into some drizzle, maybe some patchy fog, and a stray shower or two is possible. I think most of us will be dry, but just wherever you're traveling, just be aware you could run into a couple of different things out there. Green light, though, for the drive home as we are simply cloudy for this afternoon. So again, kids getting on the bus at 7 a.m., a stray shower is possible, 46 degrees. And then the wind will start to gust maybe upwards of 20 miles an hour. We're cloudy and 46 by 3 o'clock. Today we're heading for a high of about 54 degrees with those cloudy skies building in across the region. And then tonight, that cold front makes its way our way. And it does two things initially. One, temperatures ahead of it start to warm up slightly. Then our shower and thunderstorm chances start to increase. And as we've been mentioning, one or two of these storms could be on the stronger side, but we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather at this time. And of course, if that changes, we'll let you know. Here's our cold front. Later tonight, out to the west, it starts to roll in. It will hang on and bring us rain and thunderstorms through the first half of our Tuesday. And then by about 1 o'clock tomorrow, it's out of here. And this is what it leaves behind. Very cold weather. We're up to 58 tomorrow. Then that cold front passes through. Temperatures fall back behind it, down to 36 for the low. 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries. Down into the 30s heading into the weekend. Maybe some flurries again on Saturday. Overnight lows dropping as well. And then we get into next week and we hang out in the 30s for a while. Maybe some flurries Tuesday. Maybe some snow by next Wednesday is a possibility. And those lows down in the 20s, maybe even into the teens as we head into next week. So we're going to go from fall to December in a matter of about 36 hours. We got a lot more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Survivor of a shooting at an Oklahoma marijuana farm that killed 4 people has been arrested after being released from a hospital where he was treated for gunshot wounds. 44-year-old Yifi Lin was arrested last week after the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics filed notice to seize the farm west of Hennessy, a town about 55 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. Lin remained jailed, that's according to jail records, although court documents do not show that formal charges have yet been filed. Lin's attorney, Clay Curtis, says he has not been provided the likely charges, though illegally manufacturing and trafficking marijuana are possible, and that arraignment is scheduled for Wednesday. On Friday, emergency crews were prepared to work through the weekend in Washington County, Kansas, where a leak of nearly 14,000 barrels of oil spilled into a creek. This is the third spill of over 1,000 barrels on the Keystone Pipeline since it opened in 2010, and the biggest in Keystone history. The pipeline is currently shut down, and a containment area has been set up by crews to stop the spill from flowing further downstream. The spill has not threatened the local water supply. Livestock owners in the area have been notified. Miami, Oklahoma police officers have a new tool and training for de-escalating threats without lethal force. The department now has pepper ball launchers and pellets. 15 officers were trained on how to use the launchers. Officials say they will help save lives. And the Joplin Public Library celebrated the holidays with its annual Holiday Tea Time. The event included a performance by the Midwest Regional Ballet. holiday-themed cookies, and of course, tea. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
For today, we are going to be cloudy, heading for a high of 54 degrees. And as we go into tonight, cold front starts to make its way our way, and that'll increase our shower and thunderstorm chances. And we'll also see temperatures slowly rise overnight as well. As a couple of these storms could be on the strong side, but the good news is we're not anticipating any widespread severe weather at this point. But of course, we'll keep an eye on it for you. 58 tomorrow. That cold front gets out of here by about noon, 1 o'clock, falling down to 36 for the overnight low. 40s Wednesday, Thursday, maybe some flurries on Saturday. And temperatures continue to fall back down through the 30s, overnight lows into the lower 20s by this weekend.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we are making roasted holiday prime rib in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. A Libyan intelligence operative charged in the 1988 bombing of an American jetliner over Lockerbie, Scotland, has been arrested by the FBI and is being extradited to the United States to face prosecution for one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in American history. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
We'll have that story, or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we're heading back out to Extreme Sports in Joplin, where Amber Jenkins talks to one of KOAM's Toy Box partners, Christmas for Kids.
Plus, we'll take a look at the town of Mayfield, Kentucky, 1 year after a tornado devastated their community and how they've picked up the pieces. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll do it again today at noon.